Waarom?
Natuurlijk. Het is 3:00 net geweest op donderdagmiddag. En dat betekent dat het tijd is voor Patapoe serieus haar Patapoe Teranga Radio.
Radio Teranga, ici, bonjour, bonsoir et à tout le monde.
Oui.
Hello and welcome.
Het is weer zover. Actualiteit uit Bonjour misschien. Uit Amsterdam, uit de hele wereld.
Ja, de boys in jouw banjoel zitten er bijna klaar voor.
Ja, vaak gaat het over migratie, dit programma. En migratie.
Ja, over migratie en beweging.
Beweging, ja.
Heel erg. Zal ik je een leuke beweging vertellen?
Vertel eens een mooie beweging.
Ik was op Schiphol om mijn zoon op te halen. Ja. Die kwam terug uit Japan. En dat was hartstikke leuk, want hij had iets meegenomen. En echt een full-blown nagelknipper. Die kan je uitklappen en inklappen en je kan je nagels weggooien. En hij is echt super scherp en Japans staal en ergodynamisch en nucleair getest en helemaal te gek.
En dan hou je je vinger voor het cameraatje. Dat. Oh, ik vind het wel magisch.
Hoor je hem?
Ja.
Maakt bijna geen geluid.
Maar want even voor de kijker, de luisteraar die geen kijker is. Dwars wordt geknipt. Dus eigenlijk zoiets, de vorm ken je wel, maar het zit toch anders in elkaar. En dat is prikkelend.
Je kan hem ook openmaken. Je kan hem openschuiven.
Ja.
Komt al je nagelvuil op zo op.
Hij vangt
in je
het
bord.
op. Er zit gewoon een nagelopvanger in een minuscuul gewoon een klein nagelknippertje. Fantastisch.
Maar het is wel zwaar. En weet je wat het leuke is?
Nee.
Hier, aan deze kant, daar zit een nagelvijl.
Aha.
En als je dat voelt, dat is net alsof je... Ja, je kan je vingerafdrukken ermee afbellen. Dat is goed tegen ijs. Tegen de IND, weet je wel? Ja. Als je je nagels, als je je vingerafdrukken, als je die weghaalt, dan kunnen ze je niet meer identificeren, weet je wel?
Ja, overigens voor de gezichtsherkenning, die langzamerhand per ongeluk overal ongemerkt wordt ingevoerd, middels speciale camera's die gewoon dat vanzelf doen. En, nou ja, dat. Reflectiemateriaal, dat is eigenlijk
Waarom denk je dat Macron zo'n gekke zonnebril op had?
Ja, om niet herkend te worden. Maar
precies.
Dat vind ik toch, ik geloof dat eigenlijk niet, want volgens mij wist iedereen al dat hij het was.
Volgens mij krijgen we na een anonieme premier ook een anonieme president van Frankrijk. Dat is goed.
Ja. Ja.
Kijk.
Een soort Daft Punk-achtig types.
Een niet identificeerbaar flying object. Ja.
The Residence, zoiets, met zo'n soort iets, ook veel veiliger.
Is dat muziek? The Residence?
Ja, die doen van zo'n oogbal als hoofd. Dus een soort een masker dat het hele hoofd omsluit als een soort helm. En dan ziet het eruit als een grote wandelende oogbal.
Oh, wow.
Heb je toch wel eens gezien?
Waar heb je die gezien?
Ja, joh, The Residence. Dat is een afgezaagde zogenaamde underground band.
Ja, dacht ik ook. Dat is nog van na The Grateful Dead. Maar hoe dan ook...
Over gehypte underground bands gesproken.
Ik stapte op lijn 3 en aan de overkant stond ook lijn 3, maar er stonden ook een heleboel Panathinaikos supporters. Best eng.
Is het zover?
Die komen uit Griekenland, ja.
Oh,
want vanavond speelt Ajax. Tegen de Grieken. Dus ik heb Ingeborg aan de lijn, maar ik weet niet of ze meedoet. Dat lijkt me wel gepast.
Dat is Jo ook. Het zijn 2 keer Jo in de vergadering. Nee,
ze is aan het werk. Ze zit midden in een interview.
Ja, ze heeft me ook iets gestuurd op de telefoon. Ik ga even op mijn telefoon kijken wat ze me heeft gestuurd. Een foto had ze.
Ja, dat is natuurlijk de NRC van die gekke Andreas Kouwenhoven, die uitslover.
Oh ja.
Dat is niet belangrijk. Dat is gewoon Nederland. Nee, wat belangrijk is Minneapolis, weet je wel?
Ja.
De revolutie begint in Minneapolis. Daar gaan we het over hebben. Vind je niet?
Dus inderdaad. Dus we hadden het er net al over in de reguliere Patapoe serieus met André.
Ja, die heb ik gemist.
Dat we misschien gewoon die demonstranten gewoon hun semi-automatische wapens moeten omhangen en met z'n allen gewoon in de straat gaan staan. Met tientallen kilo's gewoon automatische wapens om hun schouders. Want het mag daar. En dan kijken of ICE het nog durft. En dan gewoon ervoor gaan staan.
Nou, ik ben meer voor vlammenwerpers.
Nee, daar ben ik tegen.
Om de zaak te ontdooien.
Ja,
het is daar heel koud.
Nee, ja, het is heel koud, maar dat is wel goed. Want dat was toch ook, hadden we vorige week, dat mensen speciaal water strooien om het alles glad te maken tegen ijs. Ijs tegen ijs. Dat was al afgezaagd. Dat was vorige week in deze uitzending, luisteraar, als je die hebt gemist.
Ja, wij volgen dit alles op de voet. Ik stel voor, als je kan, kunnen we eventjes naar een podcast gaan luisteren met wat impressies uit de sfeer in Minneapolis. Dat is, heb ik je gestuurd, toch?
Mm-hmm.
Ja, nou dan. En er zijn zelfs 2 podcasts, er zijn 2 afleveringen. De eentje is het laatste nieuws eigenlijk van de afgelopen week, na de General Strike van vrijdag.
Mm-hmm.
En daarna hebben we nog van de week ervoor ook een podcast van Margaret Killjoy. Samen met Ene James. En die hebben die denken meer na, zou ik maar zeggen. Haha. En het is vooral heel erg koud, dat moet je weten. Heel erg koud in Minneapolis, want het is ijs.
Ja.
Dus,
ik start de band.
Nou ja, start de band.
Komt-ie.
And the Therapy for Black Girls podcast is here to walk with you. I'm Dr. Joy Harden Bradford, and each week we dive into real conversations that help you move with more clarity and confidence. This episode, we're breaking down what really happens to your information online and how to protect yourself with intention. Listen to Therapy for Black Girls on iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Ik heb hem echt stil moeten laten.
Laat maar lopen.
Ja, laat maar lopen.
Begin met reclame meestal.
Ja, Minneapolis. Hier is hij. Met muziek.
Hi, friends. It's me, James, and I just wanted to explain, as you're listening to this, we recorded this around midnight on Friday after having spent, I think, 3 days, 4 nights in Minneapolis. And the tone of what we recorded here is hopeful. I remain hopeful and inspired by the people we met in Minneapolis, and I remain so proud of everything they've done. But about 9 hours after we sent this off to our editors, Alex Pretty was killed by 2 Border Patrol agents. And the tone of this would have been different if we had recorded after that. And that's just the nature of the work we do. But we don't want anything in the hopeful tone here to suggest that we don't grieve his passing, that we aren't thinking of the people who loved him right now, because we understand that they're going through a very difficult time. But we still want you to learn from what's happening in Minneapolis and from what people are doing there. And we hope that you remember that as you go through this episode.
And I think that, honestly, those 2 things that we have to balance just as we deal with the state of the world is just, everyone we talk to, this was so present on their minds, is both an awareness of the beauty of the things that they are building and also an awareness of the darkness that has caused them to need to build these things. But anyway, we hope you enjoy these episodes and are following more closely with more current news about what's happening and are talking to the people around you, wherever you are, about how you will keep yourself and your neighbors safe. And yeah, thank you.
Hello, and welcome to Cool People Could Happen Here It, a podcast, which is what happens when 2 podcasts love each other.
And go to Minneapolis together.
Yeah. go on a trip to Minneapolis in the winter.
Yeah.
Where it is cold. I am one of your hosts today. My name is James Stout, and I'm very lucky to be joined by my friend Margaret Killjoy.
Hello. Welcome to the thing that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Should we talk about today? We talked last time about some rapid response and mutual aid, and there's more to be said about that.
Yeah, today is the 23rd.
Yeah, it's
January.
the past for you all.
Mm-hmm. But it's present for us.
Yeah.
Yep. It's amazing how podcasting works like that.
Today was the second real general strike I've been to in my life.
Yeah.
First one was in Oakland during Occupy.
Okay, sick.
They pulled off a pretty serious general strike. Thousands of us shut down the ports. It was really beautiful.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, that was past. Today, no one had to shut shit down, really.
No.
With the exception of the federal building, which we will discuss.
Yeah.
It's been remarkable. We've been here since Tuesday. It's Friday. How just the momentum has grown. Like seeing, we went past some place, I think it was like a place that repaired like electronics of some description. Okay. They just had a little thing being like, attention, we're not opening on Friday.
Yeah.
It's these businesses which have no reason, like these outward facing reasons to it's not even businesses which rely on their community for business and have to signal to the community that they're with them, right? It's just people who are being like, yeah, nah, no, like that seems
Give
like
it a shot.
Yeah, we got to do something.
Yeah.
Let's all close down and go protest. One thing that I was sent, I didn't share this with you, Margaret, because I'm unkind, was a list of businesses that were like, yo, we will not be participating in like profit making today, but if you need X, that's what we do. Come by.
Yeah.
Like if you're hungry, if you're cold, if you need a cup of coffee, if you need your bicycle fixed, whatever it is, like if you want to screen print abolish ICE on a shirt, swing by. Like we'll just be open up for the community. Come say hi.
Yeah.
Like we don't want your money. We just want your solidarity. Like I thought that was cool.
And on some level, it's been happening for a while to talk about how yesterday we went to Powwow Grounds.
Yeah.
Right. There is a Indigenous-owned coffee shop called Powwow Grounds. They're actually worth donating directly to because they're mutual aid projects. That'll probably be in the list of things that we include. And you go in, and the coffee is free now. And we were like, well, we want to pay you for tea, and they were like, you can pay us for tea.
Yeah, and we were able to like put some money behind in case someone else came in and needed some.
But the entire space has been taken over by a mutual aid organization. Yeah. And it's, Indigenous run. We talked to someone from AIM, American Indian Movement, about the work they've been doing there. And, which is that they've been, basically just turning it into like making sure everyone has everything they need.
Yeah.
By creating these places that are good to hang out in, you make really good rapid response places.
Yeah.
We this is the first person we heard from about just like, I was like, how does this work? How does rapid response work? And I was like, well, there's more of us than there are of them.
We can keep showing up. Like,
and so like, people are hanging out there. And so, and it's right in a place where ICE likes to fuck with people. And
well, it's like, for people who aren't familiar with that block, right? Like I've read a lot about AIM. It's a topic I'm interested in. Like that Franklin Avenue, I believe, is where AIM began, right? Where
that's understanding with Community Watch, which is what's happening now.
Yeah, exactly. Was doing patrols to keep their community safe.
Yeah.
So it's a cool little full circle movement from that. So this is a space which is obviously designed to like center and protect Indigenous folks.
Yeah.
But they were just like, anyone who's out there doing the work, please come by. We got snack packs for you. We got this little earmuffs we made. We've got 4 different soups. We've got a vegan soup, got a gluten-free soup. Like they were more than happy for folks to come by, get fed, get warm. Yeah.
A big thing here. People, we sort of make light of, there's the whole quip that really works on me, which is the like, ICE made the classic Nazi mistake. They invaded a winter people in winter. Yeah. And that's true, but it is exceptionally cold right now.
Yeah, like we last night, I think due to an error on my part, were locked out of the place we are staying.
Yeah.
I think it's fairly clear that I fucked up there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. It becomes a risk to your well-being pretty quickly.
Yeah.
To put it another way, how cold it is. Today, I took the battery out of Margaret's vehicle and blew hot air from a hairdryer on it for some time.
Yeah.
So we could try and start it.
So a jump would work because a jump wouldn't work without also heating up the battery.
Yeah, the battery didn't have enough coal cranking hammers to get.
Yeah. Despite being a brand new battery.
Yeah. You need different tires for your truck. You need different oil for your vehicle. You need your battery to be warm.
Yeah. People have engine block heaters for gas engines. I don't even have a diesel. Okay, so this morning, we knew it was the general strike. We went and got enough supplies to have enough food without having to go shopping today. And, we get up and we knew that there was going to be a direct action this morning at the Whipple building. And the Whipple building is, I wish, once this whole thing is scripted, you'll understand all this better. But there is a building that used to be a fort. And it was a fort in ye olde, even more murder of Indigenous people times. And it was the fort from which they would go out and capture people.
Yeah.
And that is what it is again. It is the center of the ICE operations here. It is where everyone is taken, both citizen and non-citizen, for processing. And there's like one way in and one way out. And there have been people, I keep talking about, we were talking about this hyper-local rapid response.
Yeah.
There's been people at the Whipple building at this trap of a place with one way in and one way out.
This place is a fortress-ass building.
Yeah.
Right? Like
where it's real easy to kidnap people because the kidnap place is right there.
Yeah.
There have been people there basically every day.
Yeah.
And like just blatantly being like, we are here to track you all. Anti-ICE people have been there every day.
Yeah.
so there was a call to go to it this morning. And so we did. And, as press.
Yeah.
And we did not get there on time because my car would absolutely not start.
Yeah.
Yeah. But multiple people came to rescue us.
Yeah.
Like multiple people showed up to help out-of-towners who aren't even core of we weren't there to get stuff done. We're just here to talk about it.
Yeah. Like someone came to offer us a jump. Someone else was like, "Hey, did you get a jump?"
Yes.
Someone was like, "Do you want to ride? Do you need to borrow my vehicle?"
Yeah.
Like,
and these weren't people we known very long.
The longest we'd known these people was since Tuesday. It's Friday.
And so people come up, get the vehicle working, we drive there. And the whole time, both of us are moderately outdoorsy people, right?
Yeah.
To put it mildly in your case and to be accurate in my case.
Yeah.
Like, and we spent the whole time being like, do we have enough gear? Like, do we have enough winter gear? We both have these new insulated boots we got for this trip.
Yeah.
And like, I live in the mountains. You were a literal sports person.
Yeah, I enjoy to be in the mountains.
Yeah.
When I have time, I will go into the mountains and sleep outside.
Yeah. It's cold. It is like
Ja, stop maar.
There's a cold when your nose hairs freeze when you breathe in. And then there's a cold when you're like...
Sleep outside.
Ja. Dus het inheemse koffiehuisje speelt een cruciale rol.
Ja, ongelooflijk is dit, hè?
Dus het inheemse koffiehuisje speelt een cruciale rol.
Ja, het is omgebouwd tot Rapid Response Place. Dat is...
Inheemse koffiehuisje.
Ja. Rapid Response Place. Dat is... En dat komt straks nog even aan de orde. Want je hebt eigenlijk twee soorten acties in Minneapolis. Je hebt namelijk de Rapid Response. Dat zijn mensen die, zodra er ergens lucht is van de ijs, die erop afgaan en foto's gaan maken en gaan fluiten op en toeteren en roepen en soms ook een beetje sneeuwballen gooien. En dat moet allemaal kunnen, want dat is allemaal totaal democratisch en anarchistisch georganiseerd. Dus iedereen moet gewoon iets doen. En dat is dus de Rapid Response. Maar je hebt ook de Solidarity Networks. Dat is heel erg lokaal. Dat is namelijk gewoon dat je de buren helpt, omdat die bang zijn om naar buiten te gaan. Dan kom je de boodschappen helpen brengen. Of je haalt kinderen naar school. Dat is gewoon Solidarity Network, weet je wel. Dus dat vind ik gewoon goed, toch?
Absoluut, ja, zeker. Helpen met boodschappen en dingen. Ja, perfect.
Ja, dat is gewoon heel subversief tegenwoordig. Want je kan gewoon worden doodgeschoten als je boodschappen doet.
Ja, je weet het niet. Vooral omdat ze erop uit zijn. Dat is nog het ergste eigenlijk. Ze zaten eigenlijk zelf te wachten tot ze iemand zouden doodschieten weer. Of ik weet het ook niet.
Ja, en wat ze ook doen, en dan halen ze mensen uit de auto. En die nemen ze mee en dan zie je ze nooit meer terug. Dus er staan overal in Minneapolis auto's leeg. En er zijn de mensen die gaan dan naar die auto en die gaan kijken van wie die auto is. Dan maken ze het dashboardkastje open om te kijken of er papieren in zitten en zo. Ja. En dan brengen ze die auto gewoon echt helemaal terug naar waar die mensen wonen. Lief, hè?
Ja, tuurlijk.
Dat is solidariteit.
Ja, maar het is ook een beetje het karakter van de stad schijnt. Want het is gewoon een links bolwerk en daarom komt ijs daar.
Ja, nee, maar ijs komt niet alleen daar. Ijs komt overal. En ze laten dat zien. Want als ze laten zien dat je mensen kunt doodschieten zonder dat er verder iets gebeurt, dan doen ze dat in andere steden juist ook, weet je wel. Dus daarom niet. Oftewel, geef al het verzet op, want wij zijn de sterkste. Maar dat is helemaal niet zo, want je ziet nu wat er gebeurt. Dit is gewoon het einde van Trump. Dit is het begin van de revolutie. Dit is de color revolution, zoals Paul Krugman dat noemt. Ik weet niet of dat waar is, maar het voelt goed.
Bob Marley, Chase Them Crazy Baldheads. Out of
town.
Of
Neil Young met Ohio is ook goed.
Ja, dat ken ik niet.
Ook goed. Maar wat ook kan, in principe, is dat we nog naar het vorige deel van de podcast gaan luisteren. Want daar gaat het over die networks. Dat is wel interessant.
1 minuut 25.
Dus dat kunnen we ook nog afspelen. Dat klinkt goed.
Dat doe ik zo, hoor.
Ik geloof dat de jongens uit Banjul eventjes met andere dingen bezig zijn. Dus we kunnen gewoon de tijd vullen met die andere podcast, toch?
This
Ja, die
episode,
tijd klopt dan
we're
niet. Dus
breaking
het is nu
down
wel
what
weer aan het
really
kletsen hoe het
happens to your
uitlegt.
information
Uitleg.
online.
Nou, je moet gewoon
Hoe
eerst
het
een
is.
minuut
Protect
overslaan.
yourself
Dat
with
is
Ja, dat
eigenlijk
heb ik
het
gedaan. Maar dan
Listen
nog
to
zit je
Therapy
in
for
dit
Black
praatje.
Girls
Dus
on
ik
the
klets er gewoon
iHeartRadio
doorheen.
app, Apple
Dat is jouw probleem.
Podcasts,
Ja,
or
iHeart
wherever
lullen
you
we
klopt.
er
get
Ja,
doorheen.
jij kwam met
Kan
die
ook.
tijden die niet kloppen.
You
Ja,
know
het
Roald
gaat beginnen.
Dahl.
Shush, shush,
You
shush.
thought of Willy Wonka in the BFG.
Ik hoor
Did
het
you know
wel.
he was a spy? In the new podcast, The Secret World of Roald Dahl, I'll tell you that
Je
story.
kan het ook trouwens
Much,
lezen, want
much
het is
more.
ook vertaald in het Nederlands. En dan
You
kan je het
probably
vinden op
won't believe
Was this before you
doorbraak.eu.
wrote his stories?
Ah,
It
ja.
must have been.
Voor de Nederlandse
Ja.
leestaligen.
Ik
ga het
Dan
een
kun je
keer
het lezen
lezen, maar
op
ik kwam daar niet
doorbraak.eu.
aan toe.
Listen to
EU,
The Secret
weet je wel,
World of
EU.
Roald Dahl.
En als we dan hiermee klaar zijn, dan gaan we aan de
Apple Podcasts, or
oplossing
wherever you
werken.
get podcasts.
Oké.
En de oplossing is op 6 februari, dan weet je dat vast. Dit is een cliffhanger, begrijp je wel?
God, wat spannend. Die gekke muziek is alweer begonnen.
Hello, welcome to Cool People Did Cool Stuff / It Could Happen Here episode. And
Oké,
this
daar zijn we
is
dan.
a little
Yay.
pickup we inserted because James and I, hi James,
Hi, Margaret.
and Margaret, that's James,
Yeah,
we're on each other's shows this week.
yeah.
We just spent 3 days in Minneapolis, culminating in the general strike last Friday. And we were there to cover the rapid response networks and the mutual aid networks that people have been building. And that's what we're going to be talking about in these 2 episodes. But the reason that we're recording this little pickup right here to listen to at the front of it is that 9 hours after we finished recording these episodes, shortly after both of us had left the city, a man named Alex Preddy was killed by federal agents in what is obviously something that you all are familiar with. And we just kind of want to mark that because I think the tone in what we're talking about right now is we're so excited about these networks that people have been building, but obviously the tone would have changed a little bit had we recorded it only 9 hours later, and we would have been talking about something slightly different, and that's just the breaks of podcasting.
Yeah. The fundamental message, I guess, wouldn't change, but we all know that doing what these people do can have terrible costs, and we were reminded of that again.
Yeah.
Saturday morning. And I guess we should just say that, like, we grieve his passing, and we're sending our thoughts to his family. and
Bart,
the people
weet je
who
zeker
actually-
dat dit niet dezelfde
It could
is?
be a really hard time for them.
Absolutely.
Hm?
Hello, and welcome to Cool People Could Happen Here. I'm one of your hosts, Margaret Killjoy, and with me today as my other host is James.
Hi, Margaret.
We are doing a special crossover episode of It Could Happen Here and Cool People Who Did Cool Stuff, and we're doing it because James and I are in sunny Minneapolis, which is true.
The sun was out. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it through a cloud of cold air.
The vapor of our own breath freezing. I have seen more people today with frozen eyelashes than any other point in my life put together.
Yeah, I breathed into my goggles briefly, and that froze.
Yeah.
And then I took
couldn't
them
see
off,
out
and my
them.
eyes froze. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was minus 30 Fahrenheit feel, I guess, with
Yeah,
wind chill.
with wind chill. What is that in Celsius?
They come together at minus 40, so it's going to be like minus 35, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
It was, for those who are not familiar, cold, very cold.
And so the 2 of us came up to Minneapolis a few days ago, and we have spent the past 3 days here talking to everyone we can about the rapid response networks that people have built to try to keep themselves and their neighbors safe from ICE and federal repression and the sort of federal occupation of the city. And so what we thought we would do, this is kind of, neither of us have written scripts yet.
Hallo, het
We
gaat niet
are
zo goed daar.
still here. We just had a fun, slightly hectic day where we spent only about
Hallo,
20
gaat niet zo
minutes
goed hoor.
reasonably sure we were getting arrested. We
Yeah.
didn't get arrested.
No, thank you, Comrade Train.
Yeah, we got on a light rail and were able to leave a kettle by a light rail, which is a new experience for me.
Yeah, it was very European.
Yeah. And yeah, we came up here to talk to people, and that's been the story that I'm most interested in, right? Is that we have all of these stories that are absolutely true. The stakes are really high here, but the things that people are building here are really incredible, and people know that they're holding down ICE here in a way that no one would have expected, I think. And I don't know. So yeah, should we just talk about kind of our days since we've been here?
I think I just want to ground people before we do that in that so much of the reporting on Minneapolis has focused on trauma, and so much reporting on migrants focuses on trauma, right? And I think people who have listened to our podcast know that that's not really our game. And so I understand when they hear that we've been in Minneapolis, they think we're going to talk about horrific things that we've seen. I want to talk more about the beautiful things that we've seen, because I think those get missed, and they're super important, especially if you're listening in another city in the US, which will face some degree of this or is facing some degree of this, right? So I want to ground this in saying that rather than talking about the trauma people are experiencing, which I'm sure will be incidental, I want to talk about how closely people are holding each other here and how special that is and what we can take from it.
Yeah, and like without obviously, we're not trying to paint a rosy picture of what's happening here, because what's happening here is like I'm a cold-hearted journalist, historian person, and I was crying multiple times in the past couple of days as people told me about some of the stuff they've experienced. But some of it has been, we've asked people, we've said like, hey, what do you want people to take away from this? And one of the main things is that kind of a like, hey, you can do it too kind of thing. And the other thing that people have talked about is like, it would be really nice for people to see that what we're doing is amazing here, even if it's like coming out of such horrendous adversity.
Yeah, like one of the things that I've taken throughout my career is that in hard times we can build beautiful things.
Yeah.
Like that's what I wrote my book about, really.
Yeah.
And what I've tried to report on all over the world. I think this is more evidence of that. And so like you're going to hear things which are amazing, and the people who have done them are wonderful, but they're not uniquely special. You can do all these things too. And like, I want you to see that it is possible where you live.
Yeah. So one of the first things that we did when we got here, we talked about, to put ourselves in the story. I drove a long way, and James flew a long way. And, I picked up James at the airport, and we came to where we're staying, and we were talking about like, and it was late at night, and we were like, all right, what are we trying to do tomorrow? And what are we trying to see? And what are we trying to learn?
Yeah.
And one of the main things, one of the first questions we had was like, what's the scale of what's happening here?
Yeah.
Right? Like what were your impressions of the scale of what was happening? We should talk about what's happening here. Just like really quickly, I bet you all know about it in the news. Why do I have a different tone of voice when I'm talking into a microphone in this way? Instead of usually I'm in a Zoom call, but instead we're both sitting in a bedroom on opposite ends of the bedroom, talking into microphones. And I somehow have a different cadence, and I don't know how I feel about it. Also, I've had to drink caffeine, which I don't do because we've had to do an awful lot. And anyway, what was I about to ask you?
How widespread stuff is.
Oh, yeah. Like, what was your... Okay, we were going to talk about what's happening here.
Well, yeah, so if people aren't familiar, right, ICE, which is Immigration and Customs Enforcement, they're the agency charged with removing people from the United States who are non-citizens, right, who are considered deportable. Specifically, the branch of Immigration and Customs Enforcement that we are seeing here is Enforcement Removal Operations, aka ERO. We're also seeing Border Patrol, right? In the last year, actually more than a year now, right? This began under the Biden administration with Operation Return to Sender in the Central Valley of California. We're seeing Border Patrol agents used to do internal enforcement, right, of people who are generally documented, sometimes undocumented, but always non-citizens. They are detaining them in the street. They are detaining them outside schools. They're detaining them at the bus stop. They're detaining them at places to work. And when I say detaining, that's a misnomer.
They're kidnapping people,
yeah. They're grabbing people out of cars. They're snatching children and using them to bait out their parents. They're smashing people's car windows and pulling them out. They're barging into businesses. In one case, they ate at a Mexican restaurant and then arrested the workers there later that day. I've visited a lot of places where terrible things happen, right? The shit that is happening here, it's the shit that people come to America to get away from.
Yeah.
It is men in masks with guns pulling people who have done nothing wrong, who are here not harming anyone, people who do not have criminal records, just for the... I don't feel like I need to say that on this show, but I need to say that every time I talk about this, right? Like the vast majority something like 80% last time I looked at the stats of these people have no criminal records. And a criminal record could be something like fucking parking in the wrong place.
I've been arrested.
Yeah, also, I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit. You could
I've done a lot of crime. Everyone listening to this has done a lot of crime, whether or not you've been caught.
Yeah. You probably...
Speeding is a crime.
You sped. Yeah. You went a little bit too late through a red light, whatever. Like, I don't think that matters. Actually,
right, exactly.
Right? Even if you're a lib, even if you believe that our justice system is fair, it should be fair for everyone. There shouldn't be different consequences for different people. Let's move past that, right? Mm-hmm. So, how widespread is this? Margaret and I got in late. We sat up even later talking. We ordered a shitty vegan pizza. We ate it. It kind of was shitty. I was a little sad about it. Yeah, I've had better. I won't name drop. We woke up the next morning, and within 5 minutes of our waking up, we heard like beep, 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 beep coming down the street.
Yeah.
Both Margaret and I ran to the front door, spent a while trying to put on snow boots, and watched an ICE agent rolling down the street in what they normally drive in, right, which are rental SUVs with the windows blacked out.
Yeah.
And people following them, alerting the block that ICE was here, right?
Yeah. And we're not downtown. We like picked an area that's like slightly, we thought it was slightly homes. Out of it. But we got warned that nowhere is goon-free.
Yeah, and they were right. Nowhere is goon-free, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we have probably been within a 30-minute radius of the spot we're staying at for 3 or 4 days, right? Yeah. We've seen ICE pile their car into a telephone pole. We've seen spent munitions on the floor. ICE tear gas some people a few blocks from us, but they were gone by the time we got there.
Yeah.
And I want to get this out, like front and center at the start. It was not ICE who kettled protesters today. It was Hennepin County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah.
It was not ICE who arrested people who approached them with their hands in the air trying to work out what was going on. That was Hennepin County Sheriff's Office. I've seen press conferences with Minneapolis police. I don't know what their deal is. I'll tell you that Hennepin County Sheriff's Office are actively participating in this, right?
Yeah.
I'm not buying this local cops good. This will shock listeners.
Yeah.
I'm not buying the local cops good, federal cops bad narrative.
Yeah.
When cops get asked what side they're on, they're on the side of the other cops.
Well, it's interesting because the thing that you have is that you have, there's the great classic, like if those who are neutral in times of oppression are siding with the oppressors, right?
Yeah.
Because the overall situation here, it seems to be, is that you do have much more, the oppressive force here is an outside force as compared to any other protest movement I've seen in the United States. People are very aware that it is outsiders who have come to their city to steal their neighbors.
Yeah.
Right? And so because of that, the federal forces are the forces everyone's mad at, whereas a lot of the people who are standing up to federal forces are neutral or fine with police and even like the concept of other federal agencies. They just don't want people snatching neighbors. Now, that's not universal, but that's like some of the people we've talked to.
Yeah.
But what state level law enforcement has decided is that they are committed to keeping the peace. And they can't keep the peace against ICE, which they probably on some level morally know that they need to, but they don't. And instead they're like, all right, well, we can mess up with the protesters.
There won't be protesters. There ain't protesters.
Right. But yeah, like when we saw people drive down honking, the very first thing that we experienced in this town, and we weren't sure what it was. We were like, is that people following ICE and honking? And I had done a fair amount of research before I came, and I kind of knew about the whistles, but I didn't really know about this like incredible network that people have built.
Yeah.
That what we saw was not in any way exceptional, right?
No, that was just a standard street on a Wednesday morning.
Yeah. And so we get into my vehicle and we start driving. We have some places we think we're going to go check out. We have some, friends who are local who are going to talk to us. And we get like 2 blocks, 3 blocks before we find people protecting Somali daycare.
Yeah.
Right.
And we, before that, right, we went to the food co-op to get food.
Yeah.
And we went into the food co-op and we got our food. And on the way out, we see this big old sign on the door, which is like, we're closed on the 23rd, ICE out of Minnesota.
Yeah.
ICE out of Minneapolis, whatever it is. And it's in English and Spanish. And it's like, in solidarity with our migrant neighbors, we're not opening.
Yeah.
And like, obviously it's a food co-op, right?
Right.
It's not a reactionary space. That sort of planted a seed for me, like, this is a big ass business, it's not a business that necessarily relies on migrant labor, but I can see it being a space where people are in solidarity. I wonder how wide that is.
Right.
And they, even in the time we've been here, I've seen businesses put those up that didn't have them when we were going out on Wednesday, right?
Totally.
Like people being like, nah, this isn't right. But yeah, to go back, what happened was that Margaret was driving. I was riding next to Margaret. I saw a group of people. One guy had kind of tan trousers on, and I was like, stop. Margaret slowed down, signaled, and turned into the parking lot that these folks were at. And they had seen us, right, ham on the brakes and turn up in a vehicle with out-of-state plates. Then we better go speak to these people. We probably scared them.
What's funny is we thought we scared them. No.
Yeah.
They're not scared of us.
No.
They're looking to see if they're on to us.
Yeah.
And it's such a huge difference, right?
Right.
Because when people are scoping us out, they're not like, oh, that might be ice. They're like, is that ice? Let's fucking get them.
Yeah. Like if that's ice, we need to roll. Right?
Yeah.
We need to let people know. We need to start honking. We need to start whistling.
Yeah.
So we get out, walk over, and we start talking to these people. And like the person who was most forthright, most forthcoming was an older lady. I mean, I think she shared her age with us. I think it's fine to say.
I think it was 76.
76, yeah. It's probably around 0 Fahrenheit, like maybe
something
even
like that.
warmer than that, right? So like, minus 10 Celsius, something there.
Yeah.
Blade's not wearing a hat.
Yeah.
Doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. I'm chilly in my like brand new winter clothes that I wear. And I live outside in the mountain. I don't live outside anymore, but I live in the mountains.
Yeah. I'm wearing all my nice technical gear. This lady's got a poncho on, a parka, and
yeah.
And she's just like so zealous. She's so happy to be doing what she's doing and so proud of herself for being the person who did it.
Yeah.
And she has every
not
right to
in
be.
an earnest way, like in a way
not
that
in a self-congratulatory way,
Right.
just in a like, I'm 100% convinced I'm in the right, and I will talk to you, and I will say it with my whole chest.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to share some of the stuff she said? I thought it was really.
One of the things that she said that, I didn't get the impression she was like a wild political radical or something, right? And she's just like, my father fought fascists in France and Italy, and like he would be proud of me, and like. Yeah,
I'm sure he would.
He would be.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure he'd also be disgusted at what's fucking happening.
Yeah. And, and while we're talking, the Somali family whose daycare it is comes out and gives us sambosas, and we're like, no, we're journalists. You don't have to give us anything. We're like not even helping. We're like, and they're like, you're here, you're with us, you are taking food.
The guy was like, no, we're Somalis, we feed people. Like, what's your deal? Are you vegetarian? And we were like, well, we're vegan. So he comes out with the vegan ones, and they were delicious. Really, really nice.
There was some best food I've ever eaten. As we're standing there, more people come and go. So you're like, okay, this is happening here, right? No pun intended. And as we leave, we talk to a few more people, we leave. And some of the other people we talk to are like, and they're people from different scenes. It's not,
it's not just the old lady scene, right? It's a diverse crowd.
Right. And, we talked to a father who I tangentially know through the metal scene, who is like, yeah, my kid goes to school here. Yeah. Like, no one is taking kids while I can stand here. And, and he was like, I have work to be doing. And, he's like, we're supposed to be recording this band today or whatever. And he's like, no, I'm here. I'm doing this. And there's no just sadness,
he's like, this is what I have to be doing. It's the most important thing to do.
Every 2 blocks, there are people on the corner.
Yeah.
Usually 2 people, sometimes alone. And those, what we later learned, because we were like, holy shit, there's ice watchers everywhere.
Yeah.
Those are just the marked people we see.
Yeah.
That's the minority.
Yeah.
There are people driving constantly in very organized but entirely decentralized networks of rapid response, where they have come together in these like hyper-local signal loops. Signal is an encrypted messaging app that you can use on any device, Android or iPhone. The government can't break its encryption. However, there's no truly safe system.
It's the safest one we have, and it automatically deletes messages after a period of time.
If you set it up to.
Yeah.
And which you should. And so people are using this system, and a ton of these people had never heard of Signal before in their life, and now they're using this system. And also we talked to folks, and people felt that like a certain level of transparency about the networks they're building is very useful.
Yeah, we should probably address this head on, like, just to be super clear. Like, everything we are sharing is because people have implored us to share it.
Right.
We did not sneak in and find this information. People openly gave it to us because they wanted you to hear it.
Right. Because they understand that this is the kind of system that is currently proving effective, and they want people to learn from what they're doing. And so they've created hyper-local systems, like block by block. You have groups where neighbors are able to check in on neighbors, and people are able to say, hey, I saw this thing, right?
Yeah.
And so there is constant presence all over town. And when I say town, we spent our time in Minneapolis, but we have talked to a lot of people who say that St. Paul is doing a similar thing.
Yep.
The suburbs are doing a similar thing.
Yeah.
Even some small towns elsewhere in Minnesota are starting to do this.
Yeah, I don't quite know where the town is, but if people are local, like a few years ago, I went to a massive Ren fair here, and I really outed myself.
It's okay, I brought a cloak I must wear.
And folks all the way out there are doing it too, which is that place had a rural Midwest vibe. Let me tell you.
And so people are doing this all over. I have never seen unity like this.
No, like the only time I've seen a city this much in lockstep is when I was in Comishlo in 2023. And
where is that?
Comishlo is the capital of what is generally referred to as Rojava, the autonomous administration of north and east Syria. And at that time, we were being bombed by Turkey. Turkey takes offense at Kurdish people having any autonomy. And this is what that felt like, because there is someone invading your town and taking your friends.
Yeah.
And everyone, I remember there were funerals, right? Because one bomb killed 34 Asaish, who are like the internal security forces.
Yeah.
And I remember everyone rolled out for the funeral. Like, it was like a general strike.
Yeah.
And that's what it feels like here. Like, you could walk through town the day that happened and see people were sad, and but they were sharing their sadness.
Yeah.
And here, people are mad, and they're sharing their anger, but also their love for one another.
Yeah. Even when someone was killed by ICE, this did not stop people from doing this work.
Yeah.
It brought more people out to do this work because people were like, no, this work needs to be done. And on some level, the scale is that, right? Like, because if someone is seeking asylum, like, no one runs unless they have a reason, you know? And so sending people back to the places that they've sought asylum from often just means killing people.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at the things that have happened in the last month, right? Gay men being sent back to Iran, where the punishment for that is death.
Yeah.
People from this community, Karen people, right, being sent back to Myanmar, where we know that they are directly delivered to a military prison. They are sending people back to Mauritania, where, again, you can be punished for being queer by death, right?
Yeah.
Like what is happening here is that people's lives are at stake. I think sometimes people think, oh, it's inconvenient. You go back to a place where life is less, you don't have a target. No, that's not the deal.
Yeah.
We're sending people back to Venezuela, right? We're sending people from the U.S. to Venezuela. The U.S. notably just kidnapped the president of Venezuela.
Yeah.
Those people aren't going to have a nice time,
Yeah.
right? And if you were a U.S. intelligence agency and you wanted to insert people into Venezuela, that's how you would do it.
Yeah, and
So
Venezuela knows that.
Venezuela, they're not that dumb, and they're very paranoid.
Yeah.
And they're a state which has a great deal of ability to do violence based on that paranoia.
And so people are aware of the stakes, and they're doing something about it. And what's cool, it's so interesting, because at the same time, there's a little bit of like, we're built different, and certainly around the cold, that is absolutely true.
Yeah.
And there is all of this stuff in the history of at least Minneapolis that people have built resistance out of, right? All of this very active multiculturalism going back decades. We've talked to organizers who grew up in, we talked to an organizer who grew up in the American Indian movement and was talking about like Black and Indigenous solidarity going back to the 60s and 70s, right? And, and was saying like, there's all of this multicultural and solidarity. There's also all of these like cultural events, right? They have this huge May Day parade, right? Or festival every year. It's funny, I've spent a lot of time in Minneapolis, but I've never actually been here for this, but everyone's always talking about it, where basically people go to this park and build puppets and build giant puppets together, but it's decentralized. And so there's all of this history of decentralized organizing. And in 2020, of course, the uprising kind of began here. Yeah. And people are very aware of that. And so they have all of these networks that have been built for years, and they weren't necessarily like crazy active in the intervening years. Right. But people know each other on some level. And that's the thing, though, because I expected people being like, yes, they had all of these deep interconnections And most people we're talking to are like, no, I know my neighbors now.
Yeah, 6 months ago.
We have these like small seeds, right? And so people here are and aren't special about that.
Yeah.
But do you know what is special, James?
I shudder to think, Margaret.
I think what's special is the fact that you and I run anti-capitalist podcasts. It's special as a lot of meanings.
Yeah.
That are
Unique.
interrupted by advertisements.
Yeah, it is different.
It is a thing.
Yeah.
And here they are.
Yeah. Thank you. Please insert name of advertiser here for buying us a low-grade vegan pizza, which still cost us more than $50.
Every January, we're encouraged to start over. But what if this year is about slowing down and learning how to understand ourselves more deeply, more presence and care? If you want a healthier
Weird from a commune.
It was hard to wrap your head around. It was
Learning how to understand ourselves more
and drugs.
present.
Ja, nou, dat was het dan.
Ja, halverwege hoor, maar ik vind het ook wel mooi. Maar wat je allemaal meemaakt, ja, zit er toch wel veel informatie in.
Ja, het is een stijl. Hè? Het is, je moet luisteren en je moet door de bagger heen breien. En dan af en toe ving je wat op van, god, interessant. Dat wil ik wel meer van weten, maar dat komt dan eigenlijk niet. Dus,
ja, goed. Maar goed, ja, wij doen dat ook heel goed.
Eigenlijk wel, ja. Het is een verwantschap.
Ja, klopt. En nee, ja, goed. Maar mooi, goede, mooie vondst.
Ja, maar nu is de vraag natuurlijk, wat kunnen wij daaraan doen?
Ja, dat wil je altijd, wat kunnen wij eraan doen? Nou, ik begin nu te denken. Ja, wat ik al zei, het is met zware wapens op straat, maar dat is natuurlijk niet jouw oplossing. Maar ik dacht, ze hebben toch zoveel wapens en meer wapens dan mensen daar.
Speelgoedwinkels plunderen.
Ja.
Met speelgoedwapens.
Nee, maar ik zou inderdaad gewoon met massaal chase them crazy ballheads out of town. Dan ga ik hem toch eindelijk een keer starten. Ja. Doen we eventjes toch weer Lee Perry weer.
Maar weet je, we kunnen ook gewoon de Jaap Edebaan bezetten, toch?
Ja, dat trekt de Donald Trump zich wat van aan. Of Steven Miller.
Nee, maar
of
tegen
Christy
het ijs. Of de Elfstedentocht afgelasten als stakingsmiddel.
Ik denk dat we daar niets voor hoeven te doen.
Nee, daarom. Dat is makkelijk.
Oké, dat is er 1. Dat is wel mooi. Dan kunnen we vast gaan turven hoeveel sterke punten we hebben. Maar wat moeten we dan zeggen? Door Trump geen Elfstedentocht? En dat hij er dan achter komt?
Het gaat niet om Trump. Het gaat om je buren. Dus stel, kijk, bijvoorbeeld, ik kan aan mijn buurman zeggen, weet je, als ze jou komen halen, dan mag je bij mij schuilen. En wat je ook kan doen, stel je buurman werkt bij de politie, dan kan je tegen die buurman zeggen, wil je alsjeblieft hier even opschrijven dat jij dit soort dingen nooit zult doen in werktijd?
Ja.
En dan als alle politie dat dan doet, dan weten we dat het hier nog veilig is. En dan kunnen we dat laten weten aan de collega's. Ook in de vorm van staking. Wij doen jullie niet na.
Ja.
Wij zijn geen naapers.
Nee, want je hoorde Ingeborg, toch? Wie zei dat nou? Ja, die zei van, zei jij dat? Een uur geleden, toen ik nog wat serieus was, tussen 12 en 1.
Nou, je bent een beetje ver weg, ik kan je niet goed verstaan.
Tussen 12 en 1 zei Ingeborg dat Europees, dat zie jij, dat die Trump deportaties, dat Europa dat ook krijgt.
Ja, natuurlijk, Europa heeft dat al.
Ja, dat verhaal, niet. Dat bedoel ik. Maar dat artikel was, dat was van de nieuwe groene jongen. Jonge groenen.
Ja. Nee, maar dat is, Nee, maar dat roep ik al jaren. Want Jezus man, de Schipholbrand, weet je nog? Dat doen ze hier met mensen ook.
Niet vergeten.
Nee. Daarom. Kijk, en wat ik dan leuk vind, hè, dat ze had het over het Whipple-gebouw, of zoiets, het Whipple-gebouw. Ja. Het Whipple-gebouw in Minneapolis, dat is dus een fort. Ja. En daar deden ze vroeger Indianen opsluiten. Ja. En nu is het het hoofdkwartier van ICE. En dan gaan elke dag mensen erheen om daar voor de poort te gaan staan en roepen en brullen en dit soort dingen. Nou, dat deden ze in Nederland vroeger ook. Gingen ze aan de poorten van de Schipholgevangenis gingen ze zich vastketenen. En dan met buizen en kettingen en lassen en solderen. En dan moest de Bratra-eenheid komen. Dat duurde dus heel erg lang. En dan was die gevangenis gewoon geblokkeerd. Dan was het hek dicht.
Mooi. Goed.
Het had wel iets, maar ik ben meer van het hek openzetten.
Ja. Vind ik ook.
Persoonlijk dan,
ja,
hè?
Dat vind ik ook leuker.
Meer losketenen dan vastketenen.
Precies, en dan die tunnel.
Ja, tunnels graven en een Japanse 1000 knoop. Ik zag trouwens in het Flevopark, daar hebben ze 1000 knoop hebben ze geconstateerd. Japanse 1000 knoop. En dan mag je nou het gras niet maaien. Ik weet niet waarom. Weet jij dat?
Nee, dat vind ik ook ik snap het niet. Ik dacht dat hij onder de grond voortwoekert met zijn wortels. Ja, wat zou het dan dat je ze wel of niet maait? Bij ons is het ook hier... bij ons is het helemaal ver weg van de studio. Maar in Zuidoost, Bijlmerrand, heb je ook hele stukken. Hier niet maaien. Japanse 1000 knoop.
Ja, dat is nieuw beleid volgens mij. Is dat ook migratiebeleid, denk je? Dat zijn exoten, dat zijn illegale indringers.
Ja, dat klopt.
Dus eigenlijk is dit ijs.
Ja, of bamboe, daar hebben ze niks voor, maar dat zijn ook dingen van dat gaat niet meer weg, maar dat breidt alleen uit. En dat is maar ik weet niet hoe schadelijk 1000 knoop is voor de andere vegetatie, of dat ze echt dingen, zoals die krab, hoe heet dat ding, die ook kan eten trouwens, die rivierkreeft.
Ja, Amerikaans is dat, ja.
Ja, die eten wel allemaal dingetjes op, waardoor het een ander evenwicht is gekomen.
Ecotopisch, ja. Nee, maar het leuke van Japanse 1000 knoop is, die kunnen muren slopen.
Ja,
al die kades, precies. Weet je wel, die worden gewoon ondermijnd, zou ik maar zeggen. Ja, dus, ik roep al jaren van, plant die 1000 knoop bij de baaiers. Bij het politiebureau en bij het Whippelgebouw en bij ICE. Ja. Dat is biologisch.
Ja, ook die plannen die we hadden ook met de stopera toen om dingen al te saboteren bij de bouw van de stopera.
Ja, dat is duurzaam ook.
Ja, duurzaam. Natuurlijk met schimmels en dingen, ja.
Maar zover zijn we nog niet, geloof ik. Het is nog...
Nou, ik vind het ook een gepasseerd station hoor, werken met schimmels. Ik ben er eigenlijk niet meer voor.
Oh. Om? Dat?
Nou, dat je misschien wel ziek zou kunnen worden van die schimmels.
Ja, maar schimmels zijn overal.
Ja, begrijp ik. Maar het is het idee van om gewoon vanuit het beton al uit bepaalde schimmels te laten opbloeien in de stopera. Dat heeft geen doorgang gevonden, maar ook maar beter.
Nee, maar Japanse 1000 knoop is geen schimmel.
Nee, daarom. Die pakt het gewoon heel rustig en ecologisch van buitenaf aan. We kunnen dat even inderdaad aanplanten. Ook naast de stopera nog, of mag de stopera nu blijven?
Nou, ik weet wel waar je ook kunt beginnen.
Bij Lievende Kei.
Ja, ook. En bij IJmeren. Ja. En bij de IND kan ook.
Ja, precies. Pieter Callandlaan is dat toch?
Ja. Dat is eigenlijk bezet gebied.
Ja. Nee,
en dat was inderdaad. Eigenlijk We Are Here. Ja.
Dus dubbel bezet. Ja, schande. Ja.
En daarvoor was het Huis van de Democratie van het stadsdeel Nieuw-West. Kijk. En nu is het IJs, weet je wel. Dus ik vind dat ze daar moeten beginnen.
Ja, nou, ik moet even kijken waar ik een stekje 1000 knoop kan vinden.
Ja. Nou, ik weet een plekje.
Oké. Maar je herkent ook je weet ook wat je uit de grond moet halen, want dat zou ik ook niet precies weten.
Gewoon alles.
Doe jij dat dan maar even?
Ik ga straks langs de bloemenman. Ik zal even informeren hoe dat moet. Oké?
Dat is goed.
Ja. Hey, we praten opeens Nederlands. Gek is dat.
Ja, because where are our friends? And also the hour is past almost. L'heure complet.
Afrika is not there.
No.
Even kijken hoor. Heb ik een bericht? Nee. Nee, ze zijn gewoon voor zichzelf begonnen. Ze zitten alleen nog maar in hun eigen appgroepje. Het is gewoon een bubbel geworden. Radio Teranga is ontaard in een bubbel.
Ja, maar dan moeten ze wel wekelijks even een uurtje of wat ook hierheen sturen, dat we het hier kunnen luisteren.
Ja, ik zal er werk van maken.
Oké. Hey, afsluiten dan. Eindtune, what about it?
Ja, Bafau. De groeten thuis.
Ja, ik ben eindtune nog niet
later.
Gevonden. Oh ja, oké, goed.
Ik ga mijn mondje uitlaten. Doei.
Dat speelt hij niet. Ja, oké, ja, doeg. Ja, ik kan die tune.
Ja, plaatje zoeken.
Ja, plaatje, ik heb de muziek. Ik zet even Crazy Ball Dance, even wat harder. And now you come and want to rock me down. I'm spinning in your little young, but I'm not crazy. Gonna drop that crazy, drop it down. I'm gonna drop that crazy. Oh, het is misschien een mooi moment om te luisteren naar die band afgelopen vrijdag in Parknest. Ik zal wel even gewoon dat opzetten. Way down in Africa. Ja, bedankt mensen voor het luisteren, voor het meedoen. Het programma is weer afgelopen. Tot de volgende keer. Dag.